The untamed wilds of 1870s Canada held the promise of untold riches. The land was vast, uncharted, and teeming with opportunities for those brave enough to seek them out. Prospectors flocked to its rivers, driven by dreams of striking it rich. They came from all walks of life, united by a single glittering goal. Among them were Frank Lemon and a man known only as Blackjack. These two men, though different in many ways, shared a common purpose. Partners in the truest sense, they braved the harsh conditions together, their bond forged in hardship. The wilderness tested their resolve, but they remained steadfast. Working under the employ of Lafayette French, they toiled tirelessly, searching for the elusive glint of gold. Each day was a grueling test of endurance and hope. Fate, it seemed, had a plan for them. The wilderness, with all its challenges, was about to reveal its hidden treasure. In the heart of the wilderness, along the banks of the North Saskatchewan River, they stumbled upon it, a vein of gold so rich it took their breath away. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated triumph. This wasn't just any find. This was a discovery that could change their lives forever. The magnitude of their find was almost too much to comprehend. But the vastness of the wilderness held not only the promise of wealth, but also the darkness of greed. The shadows of the forest seemed to whisper warnings of the perils that lay ahead. As they looked upon their fortune, a silent agreement passed between them. They knew the risks, but the reward was too great to ignore. They wouldn't share their secret with French, not yet. The gold was their ticket to a new life, and they intended to keep it that way. This gold, they decided, would be theirs alone. The temptation of unimaginable wealth was too powerful to resist. They would keep their discovery hidden, a pact sealed with a handshake and the allure of unimaginable wealth. Their journey was far from over, but now it was filled with the golden promise of a brighter future. The weight of their secret proved a heavy burden. The gold, once a symbol of hope, became a wedge, driving a rift between the two partners. Paranoia set in, whispering doubts and suspicions in their ears. The bond they had forged over time began to fray, eroded by the corrosive power of greed. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the campsite, tragedy struck. An argument, fueled by fear and mistrust, erupted between Lemon and Blackjack. Words turned into accusations, accusations into threats. In a moment of blind rage, Lemon grabbed his axe. The air hung heavy with the scent of pine and the impending doom. With a sickening thud, the axe found its mark, silencing Blackjack's accusations forever. Lemon stood there, the weight of his actions crashing down upon him. The gold, once so desirable, now seemed to mock him, stained with the blood of his betrayal. He had traded his humanity for a fortune he could no longer enjoy. Panic seized Lemon. He hastily buried Blackjack's body, the image of his lifeless eyes seared into his memory. He fled the campsite, leaving behind the promise of gold and the ghost of his former friend. But the wilderness offered no solace, no escape from the torment that gnawed at his soul. The wind seemed to carry Blackjack's voice, whispering accusations through the trees. Every rustle of leaves, every crackle of the campfire sent shivers down his spine. Sleep offered no respite, haunted by nightmares of Blackjack, his face contorted in a silent scream. He was a hunted man, pursued not by earthly law, but by something far more sinister. Footsteps echoed behind him, though no one was there. Whispers followed him, taunting him with his crime. The wilderness, once his companion, had transformed into a menacing presence, a constant reminder of his betrayal. Driven to the brink of madness, Lemon stumbled out of the wilderness, a broken man seeking redemption from a sin he could never outrun. The weight of his sin proved unbearable, a constant shadow that haunted his every step. Lemon sought solace in the church, confessing his crime to a priest, Father Pierre. The church, a sanctuary of peace, seemed to be his only refuge. The priest, a beacon of hope in Lemon's storm of guilt and fear, listened with a heavy heart. His eyes reflected the burden of the confession he had just heard. He offered Lemon absolution, but the path to redemption was fraught with challenges. The priest's words were kind, yet firm, guiding Lemon towards a difficult journey ahead. Father Pierre knew of a man, John McDougall, a God-fearing soul who wouldn't shy away from the darkness that now clung to Lemon. McDougall was known for his unwavering faith and strength. He tasked MacDougall with returning to the site of the murder and giving Blackjack a proper burial. It was a mission that required both courage and compassion. MacDougall, a man of quiet strength and unwavering faith, accepted the grim task. His resolve was unshakable, his heart set on bringing peace to the restless soul. Guided by Lemon's confession, he ventured into the wilderness, the priest's words echoing in his ears. May God have mercy on his soul. The journey was long and arduous, but MacDougall pressed on. He found the makeshift grave, the earth freshly turned, a testament to Lemon's hasty burial. The sight was a stark reminder of the gravity of the situation. With reverence and respect, he exhumed the remains of Blackjack, the silence of the wilderness punctuated by the rhythmic clang of his shovel. Each movement was deliberate, each moment filled with solemnity. Under the vast, indifferent sky, MacDougall laid Blackjack to rest, marking the grave with a simple wooden cross. It was a humble gesture, but one filled with profound meaning. Section 5. A grave disturbed. MacDougall returned to civilization, his heart heavy with the weight of what he had witnessed. But something wasn't right. The familiar sights and sounds of the town felt alien, as if he had crossed into another world. The wilderness, usually a source of peace for him, now felt oppressive, charged with an unseen energy. It was as if the forest itself was alive, watching, waiting. Days later, driven by a sense of foreboding, he returned to Blackjack's grave. The pull was irresistible, a magnetic force drawing him back to the heart of the forest. What he found chilled him to the bone. The scene was more disturbing than he could have imagined. The grave had been disturbed, the earth was freshly turned, as if something had clawed its way out. The wooden cross lay shattered on the ground, as if an invisible force had ripped it from its place. It was a scene of utter desecration. A cold wind swept through the clearing, carrying with it a low, mournful wail that seemed to emanate from the depths of the forest. It was a sound that spoke of ancient sorrows and restless spirits. MacDougall felt a cold dread creep into his heart. The air was thick with an unspoken menace, a darkness that seemed to seep into his very soul. Whatever darkness haunted this place, it was powerful and it was deeply unsettling. It was as if the forest itself was warning him to leave. He quickly gathered the scattered remains and reburied them, saying a silent prayer for the departed soul. He hoped it would bring some peace to the restless spirit. As he left the clearing, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was not alone, that unseen eyes watched his every move. The forest seemed to close in around him, a living entity with its own dark will. The wilderness had offered him a glimpse into a realm he never knew existed, a realm where the line between the living and the dead blurred into a terrifying unknown. It was a place where the past and present collided, leaving him forever changed. Section 6. The Curse of the Lemon Mine. Word of Blackjack's murder and the strange occurrences surrounding his grave spread through the camps and settlements like wildfire. Whispers of a curse on the lemon mine, as it came to be known, began to circulate. Some dismissed it as superstition, the ramblings of men who had spent too long under the unforgiving sun. Others, however, believed that the gold was tainted, cursed by the blood that had been spilled in its pursuit. The lemon mine, they said, would bring nothing but misfortune to those foolish enough to seek it. They spoke of vengeful spirits, of unseen forces that guarded the gold, punishing anyone who dared to disturb the peace of the wilderness. The stories varied, but the core remained the same. The lemon mine was a place of darkness, a place where greed and despair intertwined to create a potent and terrifying legend. Section 7. A Trail of Tragedy. Whether or not the curse was real, the lemon mine seemed to leave a trail of tragedy in its wake. Frank Lemon, consumed by guilt and haunted by his actions, found no peace in his ill-gotten gains. He descended into a spiral of alcoholism, his life a testament to the destructive power of greed. He died alone, his fortune unable to buy back his soul or erase the memory of his betrayal. Lafayette French, the man who had financed the expedition, never found the gold he so desperately craved. He hired guide after guide, each more determined than the last to uncover the lost mine. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. One by one, the guides met untimely ends, lost to the unforgiving wilderness, their disappearances fueling the legend of the curse. Section 8. The Map Consumed. As the years passed and the legend of the lemon mine grew, so too did the mystery surrounding its location. Some believed that Frank Lemon, in a final act of remorse, had destroyed any trace of the mine's whereabouts. Others whispered that Lafayette French, in a fit of rage and despair, had torn his map to shreds, cursing the goal that had brought him nothing but sorrow. The truth, lost to the passage of time, only deepened the enigma of the lemon mine. The gold, once a symbol of hope and promise, now lay buried beneath layers of fear, superstition, and tragedy. Section 9. The Enduring Mystery. To this day, the lemon mine remains a tantalizing mystery, a whisper in the wind that continues to captivate treasure hunters and historians alike. Some dismiss it as a mere legend, a campfire story meant to send shivers down the spines of wide-eyed listeners. Others, however, remain convinced that the gold is out there, hidden somewhere in the vast expanse of the Canadian wilderness, waiting for a lucky soul to stumble upon its secrets. But the lemon mine is more than just a lost treasure. It's a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the dark side of human nature. It speaks to the insatiable hunger for wealth, the ease with which greed can corrupt even the strongest of bonds, and the enduring power of guilt and fear. The lemon mine, whether real or legend, serves as a haunting reminder that some secrets, once buried, are best left undisturbed.